What's going on YouTube? This is Kaz with Perfumes by Genesis, aka PBG. Welcome to another one of my videos. For those of you who know or may not know, I usually like to start off all of my videos with a quick and simple prayer. For those of you who would like to skip ahead to the beginning of the video, I'll put a link in the description below. For those of you that are staying, let's start. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for my viewers. Thank you so much for their lives. Thank you for all that you've done for us, Lord, all the ways that you've helped us, all the ways that you've blessed us, all the ways that you've taught us, the ways that you've forgiven us. Lord, I ask that you just lay your healing power and just lay your mighty hands over my viewers and anyone watching this video, Lord. And I also want to just take the time to pray for mental health, Lord. I ask that you just cover and touch all those who are just dealing with mental health or have family members dealing with mental health, and just bring your healing power and your comfort and your peace upon them. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay guys, so today's video is going to be really fun. It's going to be about a perfumer friend of mine that is also in the Instagram chat of perfumers that I'm a part of. So the brand that I'm going to be releasing today is his brand, and it's going to be none other than the House of Frederick Robin. Now, I only have samples of his fragrances, but the awesome part is that he has 9 fragrances, guys. Yes, 9 fragrances. They're all Extrait de Parfum, and they're very affordable. I'll put a link to in the description below so you guys can get your hands on some of this stuff. And I also should note that Mr. Frederick Robin also offers things like clothing, lotion, I believe soaps, and many different things. He's a very multifaceted person, and I think he even makes music as well. So we're gonna talk about 9 of his Extrait de Parfum samples that he was so gracious enough to provide me, and let's dive in. So the first one I'm gonna talk about on my list, guys, is one called Number 1. He likes to make things very, I guess you can say, abstract. So he numbers all of his fragrances instead of giving it a name. That allows you to kind of take the biases out of what you think you're going to be smelling, because it's just a number. So you really have to use your brain when you enjoy his fragrances and you wear them to figure out, what am I getting here? What am I getting? Obviously, he puts the notes on the website, but I really do like it. It's a unique touch, and enough rambling. Here's Number 1. Now, they all look like that, each and every one of the samples. So I'll show you the first one in detail, okay? It's a clear liquid, as you can see. And I'm just gonna go ahead and spray some of this on a tester strip. And then what I'm gonna do is let you guys know what my nose notes were for each and every one of these fragrances. Ooh, that's amazing. So Number 1, guys, it opens up really airy, really light, soft, floral. There's a small, very, very quick herbaceous note in there, like just a dash of green. And it reminds me most notably of a really nice laundry softener, okay? I would wear this all the time. It's really easy to wear and throw on. And imagine having a whole Extrait de Parfum bottle of this. I think he makes either 30 mils, 50 mils, or 100 mils. I know he makes 100 mils for sure. I'm not sure if he makes 30 or 50s, but anyway, let's get the nose notes out. Okay guys, so in the nose notes, like I said, it opens up really nice. It's like this linen, laundry, floral, airy scent that I mentioned before. There was also this interesting vegetal, herbaceous, green vibe, very brief somewhere in the opening. It's a very clean fragrance. It has an almost powdery laundry softener vibe or nuance to it. And on skin, it tingles. That's the best part, guys. The tingling sensation is very cooling. Yeah, it's similar to menthol in that cooling kind of vibe, and is also like an aquatic, floral, softer vibe of a fragrance. Is very nice. Highly recommend you guys at least sampling out Frederick Robin Number 1. Now the next one on the list is obviously going to be Number 2. Let me go ahead and grab it for you guys here. So as you can see, Number 2 is much darker. So, you can leave it up to your imagination what this might smell like. This is actually one of the heavier fragrances, and I would say Number 2 is recommended for the cooler months. We're gonna go ahead and spray on our tester strip to get acquainted with it. Okay, so right off the bat, guys, I get some really nice sweetness. I think there's some oud in there, okay? but I can't, I'm not really sure what else I'm picking up, but it's very sweet, it's dense, it's dark for sure. And it's a very, very beautiful blend, very beautiful blend. So let's talk about number 2, nose notes, guys. So, again, strong oud, at least to my nose. I'm not sure if there's oud officially in this. I'll have to go back and check. But yes, sweet, velvet, creamy opening, guys. There's some tiny hint of spice in there, and it's very resinous. I also wonder if there's any type of myrrh or patchouli in there, guys. And the reason why I say this is because it's due to this sweet, earthy, dense undertone that number 2 has. And you'll see what I mean if you get a sample of this fragrance, okay? It reminds me of, like, you know, for some of you that may not be from cities, I grew up in Jersey, and sometimes you go to places like, you know, inner cities in Jersey or even New York, you'll see these street side oil vendors, okay? And it reminds me of the kind of smell that you'll smell around their station, so to speak. Or like if you go to those candle spiritual shops, you know, it'll have a similar smell to that. But it's a beautiful enveloped spice, sweetness, and just this background oud. It's a wonderful composition, and I'm really looking forward to trying out a full bottle of this when it gets cooler. Okay guys, so now we're gonna move on to number 3. All right, so number 3 is a little lighter, okay? It's not as clear as number 1, and definitely not as dense as number 2. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and quickly spray this, and I'm gonna get through this video as fast as I can for you guys, so I don't have you here all night. Oh, okay, I remember this one. So number 3 is like a very nice orange creamsicle vibe, okay? And it also reminds me of, let's say, if you mix Terre d'Hermes with a creamsicle, this is what you get. Yeah, number 3 is really good stuff, guys. All right, so nose notes for number 3. Opens with a creamy, fruity, citrus, almost edible vibe, okay? And by the way, these nose notes were upon first spray. I didn't read any notes for these. I got them in the mail. I sniffed each and every one of these out on scent strips, and I just wrote down what came to mind. So yeah, almost edible. I get a Terre d'Hermes vibe. It reminds me of this airy Terre d'Hermes, fruity, creamy creamsicle vibe, okay? So if you made Terre d'Hermes, like I said, if you made it into a creamsicle, this is what number 3 would be like, okay? And it has a sweet, fresh undertone. So that's number 3 by Frederick Robin for you guys. Now moving on to number 4. And the juice is about a similar color, okay? You can see that a little bit. All right, so let's get to spraying. Now it's really weird to kind of spray these because it's like attached to the card. I just didn't feel like ripping them off because I wanted the numbers to be there for you guys. But just bear with me. Okay guys, so number 4 is kind of like an intenser version of number 1, at least to my nose. And yeah, that's what I get. I think there's some more spice in there. But let's check the notes and see what I wrote about it first and foremost. So it's very airy, just like number 1. It's very light, floral, very transparent, and it is really enjoyable, okay? Really good for the summer and spring, and it's well blended, all right? He's really good at mixing these notes together, so it's like you can barely detect him. He's a really talented guy. I highly recommend trying out his fragrances. And yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with number 4, I think. Maybe more so than number 1, but we'll see. I'm planning on trying out all of his fragrances in larger quantities. So number 4 is really nice, guys. It's pretty much just like number 1, kind of on steroids. Next up is gonna be number 5. All right, so we got another clear one. All right, you can see it's pretty much almost finished because this one is really good. My wife and I both really enjoy number 5. It's one of those fragrances that, if I'm remembering correctly, it gives you that audible reaction to it. You're just like, ooh, or like, this is really nice, you know? So let me go ahead and spray it on the tester strip, get reacquainted with it, see if I can get any juice out of here, because like you guys saw, it's almost finished, so I don't want to waste any. Ah, there it is. So yeah, guys, this is almost like, so if you take the airy, so basically if you take the DNA, all right, from number 1, from number 4, and you put this nice fruity pear, at least that's what it smells to me, this floral fruity pear, this is what you get with number 5. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is like the juiciest, most floral, airy, transparent fragrance, man. Like, everyone is going to love this fragrance. Number 5 is absolutely incredible. Let's check the notes on this, guys. I can't stop smelling this. This is why that sample is almost finished. And I wrote a lot about this. So, number 5, guys. There's this really juicy, bright, uplifting, fruity note, okay? Or fruity opening, excuse me. And it will spark this verbal reaction that I mentioned earlier. It's very sweet. And there's also an aquatic vibe to it, and that's kind of a theme through some of his fragrances, at least to my nose. And for number 5, there's a powdery nuance, okay? It also has an airy vibe. Like, the notes are very transparent. You can smell right through them in a sense, okay? Very smooth, it's very clean, and it makes me think of the sky, or what the sky or clouds would smell like, okay, if they were fragrant. It's just a weird thing that came to mind. And if they were floral and powdery, you know, it just makes me think of the sky and the clouds and just fragrant. Like, if the sky and the clouds had a fragrance, okay, and you added some fruit, you added some floral in there. Just my imagination running wild. Now, it does lean more feminine, guys, in my opinion, but this can work for anybody, okay? And this is kind of like, this is what I picture. It's perfect for, let's say, a woman wearing a turtleneck sweater during maybe the morning in a calm room. You have the sun shining through at a certain angle, and she's sitting at like a wooden table, turtleneck sweater, and maybe she's sipping a cup of tea or having coffee, you know, just that kind of silent picture, or like a movie, and you're just capturing it there, okay? That's what number 5 makes me think about. And that's the fun thing about fragrances. You can, it connects you to so many different emotions and memories, okay? And your sense of smell is one of the strongest of your 5 senses, if it's not the strongest one. So it's fun. It's really fun to try so many different fragrances. Excuse me, so many different unique fragrances from all these independent perfumers, indie, niche, etc. So yeah, this is like definitely what I would want my wife to smell like. It's a really great fragrance. I would wear it myself, and I feel like I would love it even better if it was on my wife. So number 5, highly recommend checking this out. If you want to start in his line of fragrances, you can start at number 5. All right, guys, so let's move on to number 6. We're almost there. All right, so number 6 is kind of transparent. It's faintly yellow, but there's number 6 for you. I don't remember what this smells like, so this is another surprise. But I wrote it down ahead of time, so let's reacquaint myself. Okay, very clean, it's smooth. Now this has deeper tones, okay? There's an aquatic note, there's a lot of sweetness in this. It's really hard to explain. It basically takes number 1 and number 4 into a different direction. Like, if you were to take them in a more oriental direction versus a floral direction, this is what you would get with number 5. And I believe there's number 6, and there's a bit more spice in this. Yeah, but it has that same aquatic, transparent nuance that a lot of his fragrances have, that DNA. So yeah, for number 6, there's this immediate blast of musk, okay? And I definitely do get that. Smelling it for the second time, there's this really, like I said, it has a deep undertone to it, really musky in the opening, at least on my nose, and it's pretty much most of what I smell. There's a little bit of spice that I'm getting too. There may be some florals, and it has the same airy, transparent vibe that I mentioned before, and it's clean, okay? Very simple fragrance, and I just love what he did with this 9 fragrances project. I don't know if he did them, you know, within quick succession of each other, or if he launched them as like a series, I'm not sure. But number 6 is pretty nice. It's not the most wowing on the list, but it's really cool. Probably good for night times too. I think it'll be a really good nighttime scent. Again, really nice for the spring and summer months, as many of these are. Let's check out number 7, folks. All right, number 7 is also kind of yellow, and we got a test strip here for it. Oh, wow. Guys, number 7 is a lot of fun, okay? This is definitely very oriental. It's kind of fruity. It's spicy. What is that? There's this really nice, I think it's like a kind of rose or a kind of flower in there. It's really sweet. There's a candy-like sweetness to number 7, and it's the most unique out of anyone that I've mentioned just now, guys. It's not similar to the ones previously. It doesn't have that same kind of DNA, at least to my nose, that like laundry vibe. This is where he's starting to go into a different direction. It's almost edible. It's like this candy, fruity, juicy kind of floral fragrance with this oriental touch. Oh man, this is, I gotta check the notes on these later, but number 7 is really awesome. So far we have number 5 and number 7 that are 2 of my favorites, as well as number 1. So yeah, guys, number 7, it has this tingly, sweet opening. I think it's some type of fruit that I mentioned. It's a much lighter fragrance. It starts to get more bright as it continues, and that's kind of what number 7 does for me. You spray it and it just pulls you in. Okay, you saw how many times I'm spraying it, or sorry, reaching to smell it. I'm gonna do it one more time. It's just like it envelops. Okay, just picture a rose blooming. I don't know what type of rose or how he blended this, man. This is truly a masterpiece, and I'm saying this, Fred, I know you're gonna be seeing this soon. Number 7, buddy, is a masterpiece. Good stuff. Number 7 and number 5, you did a great job. Yeah, y'all have to try this for yourself, man. It has this really decadent texture to it too. It's just incredible. You know what this reminds me of? Marc Jacobs Decadent. I think it's called Decadent. It has this subtle undertone reminding me of that fragrance. And you guys should see a picture of it on the screen by now, what Marc Jacobs Decadent looks like. I think it's called Decadent. My wife has it. It's really nice, but it's much darker, definitely for the cold weathers. Number 7, guys. All right, now number 8, there's one more. We're almost there. So, okay, let's get through it. Number 8, a little clear. Here it is. And judging by the color, this might not be as colorful. I'm sorry, as heavy as the others, because it is a transparent. Heavier fragrances tend to be really dark. Yeah, number 8. I remember this guy. Really nice stuff, guys. This is like an edible cinnamon biscuit, or like, there's a lot of nice cinnamon in here that I'm getting right now. There's some aquatic notes. And I remember spraying this one on my skin too, and it does have a tingly sensation on your skin. It's amazing. Like, you wear this, guys, you'll just smell so edible, so like cuddly. It's very sweet, spicy. It's like a sugary cinnamon sugar bun, okay? And it has this aquatic blue undertone that I really enjoy. Let's talk about these notes, guys. All right, so what did I write about number 8? All right, guys, so number 8, immediately, it's this sweet, peppery spice. I mentioned that. It's a beautiful blend. It's kind of like cinnamon, okay? It's very comforting. It's warm. It's smooth. There may be more of a fall scent possibly. And maybe for the cooler spring days, you could probably get away with this. But it's not super heavy that the summertime is going to be terrible. But anyway, there's this blue undertone. There is an aquatic note in there. It's a cool, subtle blue aquatic note. It has a gourmand vibe. And I would eat something with this flavor. I really would. When smelled up close, it oscillates between this cool blue, spice, and mint. Okay, it's a wonderful dance that this fragrance does. And I also wrote that this should be a biscuit. Like, just, I know, it's silly, I know. But as time goes on, it gets more of a spice presence that develops, and that kind of sits behind the sweetness that you smell. And I believe there might be a little bit of vanilla in there. So that's number 8 in a nutshell, guys. So far, I'm just gonna do a quick recap. Number 1, I really enjoyed. Number 5 was really awesome. Number 7, and now number 8. So now let's talk about number 9. Now I got some bad news, guys. Number 9, I went ham on. My wife and I went ham on number 9. We loved it a lot. It's his newest fragrance, and unfortunately, I don't have the sample bottle anymore. I must have thrown it away by mistake. I would show you it. I wouldn't be able to spray it anyway because it was completely empty. But obviously, before I emptied it, I wrote a lot about it. So here's my notes for number 9. I'm so sorry I can't spray and show you guys, get reacquainted with the smell for myself. But at least I can talk a little bit about it. So guys, number 9, it was absolutely a beautiful experience. It was probably one of my absolute favorites. Number 9 would probably take the cake out of all of these, okay? The opening is just absolutely awesome. It's this bright, floaty, airy, just slightly citrus floral tinge to it, okay? It's kind of tangy. So this floaty, airy, citrus, floral, tangy vibe. There's a lot going on in the opening and it just pulls you in. It also has that same laundry softener vibe that's been running through a lot of these fragrances, all right? And that laundry vibe kind of gets more and more present. Now, when I say laundry, I mean like kind of a softener, how that would kind of smell like. Maybe, what is that softener with the teddy bear on it, Downy or something like that? But yeah, so number 9, very pleasant. It has this soapy vibe, and I would love softener or detergent like this, just like how I said for one of the previous fragrances. So guys, that is my kind of run through and my initial reaction and impressions of Frederick Robin's fragrances, okay? He has numbers 1 through 9, and he also has some other products that aren't fragrances. They have fragrance in them, but they aren't necessarily just fragrances to wear, like, you know, soaps and lotions. So I highly recommend you guys check out his website, some of the things he has to offer. Really cool dude, and it's been a pleasure just being in the same perfumer chat with him. I've learned so much, and he's so young, so it's just really cool to see what he's doing with these fragrances, and I can't wait to see what he does next, you know. I'm assuming these are his first, like, released fragrances, so just imagine the next year, the next couple months, you know, it's really exciting to see what people come up with. So Frederick Robin's fragrances, guys, again, my most favorite is probably number 9. Hopefully you guys can get yourself a sample too. I'll put a link in the description below to all of his material, so you can check out his website, check out everything he's about. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know I didn't talk about the performance for these or, you know, go in depth into each one. I'm going to be getting all of them at some point, just not anytime soon for now, but Fred and I, we spoke about that in our chat. So I'll probably go a little bit deeper into the longevity and see maybe more of a story per fragrance at some point. We'll do a full, like an individual bottle review. But anyway, I've rambled enough. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for just tuning in with me and just sitting and having a chat. I'm so grateful that you're here. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how I can make this video as well as future videos better. I'd also like to have you back on my channel again so we can, you know, just have fun, explore more fragrances, and stay tuned. I'm actually going to be doing a new type of video. For those of you that don't have me on Instagram, many of you may not know or may already know that I'm also a perfumer in the making myself, and I'm acquiring a lot more materials. So I figured, why not give you guys some insight into some of those materials. Don't worry, it's not going to be a geeky or nerdy chat at all. We're just going to talk about some common materials as I get them. So we're going to do it kind of like in batches, you know, like hauls, so to speak. So stay tuned for that. Be on the lookout, and love you guys. Take care. Have a blessed day.